tomorrow is the day. It's what it all comes down to. I think it could be a day of reckoning. Please watch the video that I've done on why earnings will be kick-ass. That's the name of the video. I'm not going to go over all the reasons right now. That explains to you perfectly why these numbers are the way they are, which is very bullish, right? If you know the consensus estimate, you know that this is the bear case matches the consensus, right? That's inherently pretty bullish. It's for good reasons, and I've been seeing a lot of fear and uncertainty, and I want to say right out the gate, if you're bearish on this, or if you don't like holding BNGO, or you're giving up, you don't think it's worth it, you think I'm an idiot, you think I'm leading people off a cliff, you think I'm just profiting off people, right? Dude, please go do something better with your time then. I do not want to keep you here against your will. Just go. I mean, this is a stock that we believe, this is a company that we believe in. This stock is going down short term because of high growth, okay? I don't understand why so many people are freaking out today. I really don't. When we were literally down not even 2% with Microvision, which is one of our 3 closest tethers and correlating stocks that we move with, it's down 8% on the day. Look under it. You got AMC going down 4%, Mara's down 4%, Workout Wars is down almost 5%. I mean, this is decimation from the high growth sector here. Everybody's freaking out on Bionano for some reason. We got good news today, and we have earnings tomorrow. If you believe in the company, I don't really know what your problem is. All right, but again, I'll say it again. If you don't know what you're doing, please do your own research, right? Understand that this company and this investment is not simple by any means. There's a lot of factors that go into it. For me, you know what I'm doing. All right, I added 90 shares today. I added 90 shares in the five. Here, I'll go ahead and show you the order right now before we even go over the news, because there's not many crazy news today, anyways. Right? We've got 90 shares bought at 590 and 582. Okay, I don't think we're going to see these prices again. I think we're going to go to $7 this week. We'll see if I'm right. Who knows? Who knows if I'm going to be right? Earnings is tomorrow. That will dictate it. We're going to be streaming the whole thing. Tomorrow is the day. I don't want anyone freaking out about the day-to-day price action because of high growth. Tomorrow is what you need to focus on. Now, talking about the news for today. You got a couple tweets here about the data coming in from this Cancer Genomics Consortium. Nothing crazy. Nothing to really note here, honestly. Richard Shippey is doing his thing. He's not really... Oh, we got new tweets right now. Okay, 3 minutes ago, we got some more. Just some more data, right? OGM, it's good. We already know it. Okay, the more data we see here is good because the more consumables that have been used in the aggregate, right? The more studies and the more publications that have actually had the Sapphire being used in that study, roughly in the aggregate, the more consumables that have been used in total, right? So that's awesome. And we continue to get these. There's 1,000 of them, right? The only way to find all this stuff out is for them to actually actually perform the data and effectuate and use the Sapphire, right? So that is good news, not amazing, not like crazy groundbreaking news. However, we do have this as well. This is a little bit more groundbreaking now. And the reason why we've been seeing so many filings the last few days on Fintel, we usually don't even cover this because there's nothing to cover. It's because it's almost 45 days after the end of quarter 2. So for quarter 2, right? For month 4, the start of month 4, April, to the end of month 6, June, those 4, 5, 6, those 3 months, all of the transactions that institutions have done, all of those 13F forms, they all have to be filed within the next few days, to my understanding. Or not next few days, sorry, 45 days after. So they have another, 10 days-ish to file them. That's the reason why. We're getting close to the date, the due date for these filings. And the trend is so clear. You could see it if you are a long-term bear on BNGO, right? Maybe not. Maybe that's a stretch. But the trend is that they're adding. And if we look right here, you're like, oh, Brandon, someone's selling out. Every single one of these, I've checked all of these. They're all very small amount of shares. I think that, in fact, this is the largest amount of shares that I've seen sold out. 1,000. I have double that amount. This is nothing to worry about. The trend is adding, and institutions are loading. Obviously, the transaction is not indicative of the 5 days, not indicative of the transaction day, but still, it's a clear trend. And for quarter 2, institutions are adding in anticipation, in my opinion, possibly, I don't know for sure, don't crucify me, possibly for earnings. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if they know something that we don't. But I did want to cover that institute and clear up. Some people probably freaking out. We got somebody selling out. It's only 1,000 shares. And then we had this article as well. This came out this morning as well. This is actually a very interesting read. I mean, I hate, there's a lot of stuff that this man neglects, but he has a lot of good points, and he does a somewhat complicated and sophisticated analysis somewhat. However, the one crucial flaw that he misses here, which I don't understand how people make this. I'm not going to read the article to you, but I just want to debunk one general misconception about BNGO, which is this. They think they don't know if there's a market for Sapphire. And he points out they've been marketing Sapphire for years. Why is there only 107 Sapphires installed? What reason is there for there to be a market, right? The potential is high, but the risks are too. There might be no market for the Sapphire. If you understand the Sapphire, and here's my rebuttal to this. If you understand it, you know that there's nothing in the world that does greater than 500 base pair detection than we do. That's a period. I mean, you've seen. If you want proof for that, go ahead, man. I mean, you have fun. There's an abundant amount of proof out there. There's a plethora. There's too much to go over right now. That's as simple as you can get. This guy conveniently neglects the fact that Sapphire does more and better detection in pretty much any category you want it to do. Like cost per sample, it's cost effective as well, right? Simon Burnett is the whole cost per sample guru, I guess. Okay, it's cost effective on the cost per sample and in total, according to our own company and independent studies by a second party, not by us. And we are better in detection overall. We're cheaper. We're quicker. I already said we're cheaper. We're quicker. We're easier to do everything. Okay, every benefit that you can do, and that is literally the reason why there is a huge market for us. Anyone who's whatever, okay, you probably already heard this spiel, but I'm gonna sum it up like this: CMA, fish, karyotyping, the other three methods, the other three main methods for what Sapphire currently does. All of those methods, every cytogenetic lab or any lab in general, genetic lab that is using those, that is doing any sort of volume on greater than 500 base pairs, which I assume they are because karyotyping, CMA, that's what these methods kind of do. They're gonna switch to the Sapphire. Almost 100%, because they're losing money if they don't. And as more of these labs actually find out that, yeah, there is academic praise, yeah, this is proven, this is a legit product, it's cheaper, they're going to switch. And this is your opportunity to get in before that happens, in my opinion, okay? So that's the big flaw that this guy makes, along with a ton of other people, and that's not the only flaw he makes here. This is actually, it's a pretty interesting article, and he goes through both sides somewhat well, though he neglects a lot of things. But this is tomorrow. This is it, man. Short interest. This is, I mean, if the short, I've already said everything you need to know, essentially, if you watch the Why Earnings Will Be Kick-Ass video, but I'll say it again very quickly here and concisely. The short interest is high. The earnings expectation is pretty low, relatively speaking, only 400,000 higher than last time. I'm not even going to name them all. I couldn't even name them all off the top of my head right now. There's a ton of reasons why we're going to beat earnings. And there's no reason why we're going to miss earnings, right? The company's already said they're comfortable. It's worth the risk. The risk-reward ratio makes sense for going long on this trade, in my opinion. Please do your own research to determine if you think that makes sense for you and your investing details, right? Everything is meticulous, right? So for me, it makes a lot of sense. The short interest data backs this up. We got 43 million shares sold short. That is going to help us move way higher if we were to get a huge revenue beat, like, for example, over 4 million in revenue for the quarter. Here are my projections. You guys know what I think is going to happen tomorrow. You guys know exactly what I think is going to happen, and we're going to be streaming it. I wanted to do an all-day stream until a little while ago, but I did add 90 shares today. I already showed you those orders, and now I'll show you the portfolio. And I'm actually not going to do any technical analysis because it's the day before earnings. It's like, whatever. We're down 1% of the day. We're up almost 1% after hours. But what I will say is that there's a portfolio. Feel free to click off right now. But the reason why I'm like, you can probably tell at this point, right? I'm not as energetic as usual. You may think, well, it's just because it's a red day, he's bummed out. No, I had an eye appointment recently, and there was a very, very, for me, right? I don't mean nothing. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me now. But there was a test that came back on my eye. They thought I had high eye pressure, is what they called it, and they said, and basically, I thought I put the pieces together, and the disease that they were talking about would be blind. You'd be blind in a couple of years, most likely. And I kind of freaked out, and I basically broke down. And that's kind of why I'm still kind of processing that right now. So I don't mean to waste your time. Feel free to click off, right? Please feel free to click off. But I'm absolutely fine now. There's nothing wrong. They did it with a inaccurate machine. The nurse did it with an inaccurate machine. Then the doctor came in, did like a real test, did the eye drops and everything. And then it turned out to be fine. So So that's amazing. That kind of that's giving me a new perspective on everything. Still processing that, but that's why I'm a little bit more glum today. Tomorrow everything will probably be normal, but that's if I'm gonna be a little bit down tomorrow and not as energetic or entertaining as usual, right? That's why. Okay, so that's unfortunate, but that's what we're dealing with. Anyways, with that being said, hey, remember, guys, although, hey, I'm happy, man. Although now I sound so dark and grim, I'm still happy, and I'm very thankful for that. The fact that there's nothing wrong with me, right? I was freaking out, and I thought I was gonna go blind in a couple years. I was freaking out. And we got earnings tomorrow. I think we're gonna do good things. And I also will say at the last little moment here, I'll say last little line here. If you're worried about Biono's top price and you think it's going to be the end of the world if we're going to go down tomorrow or if we're never going to recover to all-time highs, think about the things that matter more in life, right? You guys know I'm not saying this like, oh, to hedge my bets. Oh, he thinks it's not going to be that good. He's hedging. He's preparing everybody for the drop. No, I'm absolutely super fucking confident. Believe me, okay? I'm super fucking confident. And I added 90 shares today. Literally, you can see it. I added 90 shares right there. I added 90 shares. I'm ready. I think it's going to be a kick-ass earnings. That's as simple as it gets. But everyone should understand. If you have good health, you should be. If you have good health, you have no reason to complain. Okay. And with that being said, thank you all so much. This is not financial advice. I will see y'all in the next one.